like school children do. It was the same relaxing walk home as always. Digging around my pocket on a whim, I noticed something that should have been there was missing. What's the matter, K-chan? The key to my house I always carry around is gone. Man, where did I lose it? It's fine today since my parents are home, but still, this is kinda bad. You know, you should go back and immediately find it, KG. That sure is troublesome. Did you forget it somewhere? Or did you drop it? Which one was it? Did I take it with me this morning in the first place? K-chan, did that key have anything that would make it stand out? Yeah, it's on a keychain. It has a blue fur seal, something I made for summer homework a long time ago, in the distant past. Does it have its eyes shut like it's taking a nap? Oh, how did you know that? Yeah, that's it. Mion looked away and began to whistle. I see. You went for dinner at Angel Mort a couple of days ago, right? That night, the staff found a key, and there was a fur seal keychain attached to it. How did you lose it in the restaurant and did not? How the hell did you get back home from yesterday then? Seriously, what? Yeah, how did he get back home yesterday then, if he lost it 2 days ago? As she said that, she suddenly grew flustered, and added that Shion told her about it. So I dropped it then. Seriously, how did you get home yesterday then? Were your parents already home yesterday? I don't know. Which you aren't. But aren't you glad they found it? I'm sure they're looking after it for you. That's right. Why don't you go? Shion looks the same as me, so you should know her by sight. That was a rather unexpected development. Once again, I had no choice but to go meet with Shion. But I also had to thank her for the bento from yesterday. Besides, taking some time and chatting with this other side of Mion might be interesting. Half jokingly, I began to think about things like this. Right, Angel Mort was it? I'll head over to Shion's restaurant and get my key back. And while I'm at it, having a nice spot of tea might not be a bad idea. You sound like an English gentleman. That totally doesn't suit you, K-chan. Is this the restaurant? Wait, what? Okay. Oh, I thought it was like we somehow magically teleported our way there. The one that Mi-chan's little sister is working at. Yeah, why don't we all go together, Rena? Sorry to disappoint you, but I have plans with my father today. Some other time. Rena seemed rather disappointed about having to miss such a great opportunity. You said they're twins, but do they really look that much alike? Enough to mistake which is which? Yeah, totally the same. At least on the outside. Unlike Mion, she's well mannered and really cute though. In response to my teasing, Mion pouted and began to argue with me. I couldn't help but burst out laughing at Mion's little farce. After all, they weren't just identical, they were the same person. After going home, I changed my clothes and dug my bike out of the garage. Just thinking that I would be able to meet Shion again gave me a mysterious feeling. Shion, a name for a different kind of Mion. He was a mysterious and ridiculous person, believing she had fooled everyone like that. I noticed that I was pedaling along quite happily. Could it be that I was looking forward to meeting Shion? I felt a sense of giddy anticipation, like I was headed towards a new friend's house for the first time. What Ben had said about Mion actually being really feminine sprang into my mind once again. The guilt from spying on another side of Mion The self-consciousness from being the only one that knew about that side. These feelings mixed together. And was Shion for you? Mion's little twin sister. Until she felt like coming out and admitting she was Mion. It's just fine to just call her Shion, right? Right. Mion might be trying to have some fun by acting out a different persona. As I reached the top of the steep hill, the horizon expanded before me. I was almost at the station. The last time I wasn't embarrassed since I was here with Dad, but this time I was alone. I was strangely self-conscious about it. Meeting Shion, get my key back. That was all this task was supposed to be. As I dawdled along around like this, maybe Shion would find me before she headed in for work. Hey, what are you doing, Keiichi Maibara? You're just here to get your key back, you know. It's not like you're some love-struck schoolboy here to hand over a love letter. The thoughts inside my head were slowly turning into a jumbled mess. We can tell. I came to the realization that I was downright giddy. That's right. For just a bit. Just a tiny little bit. I got a little carried away and did something really stupid. I kicked over a parked motorcycle that was blocking the sidewalk. It was in the way, sure, but there was absolutely no need for me to kick it. I definitely think I got too carried away. You really did that. What? A thunk and a clank later, and a massive crash following. As the three bikes toppled one after another like dominoes, the loud noise they caused snapped me back to my senses. Oh shit! The hell you doing there? The owners of these three bikes were right there. They looked exactly like what you call thugs up to no good. That's their exact appearance. Thugs up to no good. They lifted their heads up in an imposing manner and yelled angrily in a way I've never heard before. The three of them beelined towards me, the worn down heels of their thin-soled shoes slapping noisily against the pavement. I could only stare listlessly, as if I were watching some far-off event that didn't concern me at all. By the time I realized it, I had been grabbed by the collar and lifted onto my tiptoes. Don't be playing dumb. You knocked them over, didn't ya? The three thugs were completely ignoring the rules of grammar, but the way they spoke was enough to make me tremble. Just like that, my composure drained away, my legs buckled and my throat grew dry enough to crack. I'm so sorry, I accidentally... God, look at this grammar. Accident my ass. You kicked it, didn't ya, you dumbass? I was completely at fault, so there was nothing I could say in my defense. As a result, I was pulled even higher. The hell, man? That paint's all scuffed. Yo, brat, who put you up to this, eh? Wow, this is so terrible. This is your damn fault. The three of them continued to yell at me. I had no idea what each of them was saying. Getting further enraged that I was only listening while dumbstruck, they grabbed an empty plastic crate from a nearby store and began to smash it repeatedly against the telephone pole. Cracks formed in the crate, plastic shards flying everywhere. Then they slammed it full force into a shuttered front door. Smash. The shutter let out a frighteningly loud noise. Still not satisfied, they flipped over a case of empty cans, scattering its contents all over the floor, all over the place. This is not normal. This is something you often saw on TV or in manga, but I never thought seeing it in person would be this terrifying. I became painfully aware that the safety of civilized society was only held up by such frail concept as moral. I don't know, he's like logicking, no, what's the word? I lost my train of thought now that I've messed it up. My knees clattered together noisily. Static began to pepper my vision. This is what you would call absolute terror. There was nothing I could do to stop this frightening spectacle of violence. I could only pray for help. Yeah, he's reasoning about his morality right now, because he's, can't do nothing right now. The fear I felt was just too much for me. Would somebody help me? My gaze floundered around the surrounding area. I was surrounded by these 3 hoodlums. No way would there be a passerby brave enough to intervene. Maybe this is what you call reaping what you sow. If I were a passerby, there would be no doubt that I'd ignore what's going on. So this was somewhat on a cosmic retribution. Who can say something? I'll fucking stab ya. Angrily yelling loud enough to rattle my eardrums spewed forth right in front of my face. My waning consciousness was forcefully dragged up was forcefully dragged back to the forefront. There we go. The thug had caught back his free hand and twisting his body when suddenly a metallic taste filtered through the back of my throat. A chill ran down my spine like a jolt of electricity. Seeing what was going to happen next, I squeezed my eyes shut as tightly as possible and grit my teeth. And so he accepted his fate, being punched, or not. You're making quite the racket, you stupid pieces of trash. Get out of my sight. That voice was a short distance away. Still holding me by the collar, the 3 thugs spun around to look behind them. The fuck you say? Standing there was Shion. Mion. She stood there displaying an imposing stature that I'd never seen before. She didn't have the same look on her face as she did when we were playing around during club. Those were the eyes that would instill fear in anyone who looked upon them. The eyes of a raptor. They were the epitome of terror. At the same time, they were the most reassuring things in the world, since they were not directed at you, I guess. I only say this one more time. Let go, Kei-chan, and get lost. Beyond about an ounce of fear laid down her ultimatum. Of course, there was no way these 3 wouldn't go absolutely berserk. The situation instantly turned explosively dangerous. You fucking bitch. I fucking smash your head in. Stop it, Mion. These guys are like rabid dogs. No amount of bluffing will work. But Mion, it's dangerous, so I knew what I was saying was pathetic. But I couldn't let Mion get involved in this. No matter how you looked at it, Mion was only bluffing. But did Mion even know the meaning of the word bluff? However, the reason behind everything soon became apparent. Yay! They were slowly increasing in number, little by little. At first, it was only businessmen on their way home stopping to take a look. Then it was housewives in the middle of shopping taking a gander. Next, what seemed like the owner of some store showed up, and it was pretty clear he wasn't just looking. Around me, there was already about 7 people gathered. It felt different than people coming to support a friend. If I had to say why, it was because the group that gathered was so diverse in age and gender. The 3 thugs seemed to slowly realize that there was something strange about the situation. Who the hell are these guys? Behind them at some point 4 more people of differing clothes and ages had gathered. A girl looked to be in middle school, a man wearing a bakery apron, an old lady in house cleaning smock, More and more people of various ages. Their gazes, comparable to Mion's, were of hostility, of intimidation. Before I realized it, over 10 people had formed a ring around us. At that moment, 5 elementary schoolers ran in and joined the circle. There were some familiar faces, of our classmates. Then these people were residents of Hinamizawa. More and more people from Hinamizawa gathered around. In obvious contrast, the residents of Okinomiya were passing as quickly as possible. The fuck are you guys? Go the fuck away. The group surrounding us had suddenly swelled up to around 20 people, a whole 20. That actually would be kind of terrifying actually when you think about it. Completely encircled, the faces of the thugs began to show the first signs of panic. Nobody spoke a word, Shion included. That made everything completely unnatural, and depending on which side you were on, completely terrifying. Only the thugs' voices echoed out like they were screaming. Somebody took a step forward, closing the gap between them. As they did, somebody else took a step forward, shrinking the circle. The hooligans went pale as they were pushed back together, back to back, while still yelling angrily. They were trying to string together vulgarities, but for some reason it sounded like they were crying out for help. Alright, what's going on here then? What's going on? It was sudden. A solidly built officer cut his way through the crowd. At some point, 2 police cars had arrived. Some passerby had undoubtedly called for them. Several burly officers appeared from the inside of the second vehicle. Oh, officer, good timing. There you go, the extortionists caught red-handed. Please arrest them. The fuck? This buddy is the one that's wrong here. Shion returned to her usual self, was nonchalantly pointing out the hoodlums to the police. Of course, the thugs were furious, but now that it had come to this, there was nothing they could do. Huzzah! It was their loss. Huzzah! Okay. Come over here for a sec. Come on already. The officers handcuffed the thugs and dragged them towards the patrol cars. Now look, let me go. We're the victims here. Are you listening, damn it? No matter how much of a ruckus they caused, the officers paid no heed. In the blink of an eye, they were crammed inside the 2 vehicles. They could still be heard yelling while inside the police cars, but what they were saying was no longer intelligible. Are you alright? Hey, Yoshi-san. Hey. Are you injured? It was probably a detective. The man leading the police peered at my face. No, not really. I was, manhandled, got threatened, they destroyed a crate in front of me really harshly. They littered a lot. Not a good time. Well, that's a bit of a silver lining then. Well then, have a good year. A portly man, after taking a quick look around, addressed the crowd. Have a good year. That's a really odd thing to say, isn't it? It's not like it's the new year or anything. Thank you, citizens. Thank you for your timely report. Thanks for your efforts. We were able to keep the peace today. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Did his laugh change? Thank you for your hard work, Detective Oshi. As a citizen, I thank you for your daily efforts. It's an honor for a detective from the 1st Division to come out all this way. The way Shion talked about it didn't have a very pleasant tone. It was a coincidence. I happened to hear the call over my radio on my way back from the prefecture office. I just made a little detour. Keep up the good work. I pray for success in your future endeavors. Oh shucks. It's a good thing there were no injuries though. Oshi-san! We're done here. Let's go. Well then, have a good year. Could you make the way? The detective named Oshi, after jovially making pleasantries, lumbered over to the waiting police car. I quickly set off, disappearing down the city street. It was over so quickly. So quickly I was dumbstruck. I didn't even get to ask the officer what was going on. It was like they came here quickly to disperse the mob before any trouble could start. After making sure the police cars had left, Leon snapped her fingers sharply. Okay, there we go. Alright, that's a wrap. And don't come back. That was the signal. The tension melted away in an instant as everyone began smiling. The middle-aged man helped me up. Thanks. Are you okay, young Maibara? Next time, pick your fights a bit better. It's not like I wanted to fight. Are you hurt anywhere? If you hit your head, it would be a good idea to get an x-ray taken. An older lady I didn't know the name of was concerned about my injury. You were lucky this happened right in front of the station when it was busy, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to gather as many people. Next time, be more careful. City kids these days are pretty unruly. City kids. I was even fooled by the old lady in the smock. As Shion finished applauding the dispersing group for their efforts, she strode over to me. Well, you're pretty good, K-chan, but I think you should be more careful about who you pick a fight with. Thanks, Mion. You sure saved my bacon there. Like I said, I'm Shion. She made a troubled expression as she turned her gaze downwards, blushing in embarrassment. I heard from my sister. That first seal keychain was yours, K-chan. Oh yeah, that's right, that's what I'm here for. I was just heading to the restaurant. And you all ended up feeling so excited that you got mixed up in something weird. Now it's my turn for my face to go red. I didn't want to admit it, but you know, she's spot on. Well, I was just unlucky. But you really did save me, Shion. You don't have to thank me. Though if you see somebody else getting bullied, help them out, okay? We value that kind of thing very highly here. I was well versed in that sense of camaraderie. But by the way I was rescued just now, something, a little bit off about it, I was helped out. It was honestly to an almost disturbing degree. You're almost into the restaurant. You're coming into the restaurant, right? You must be tired, so why don't you relax for a bit, My treat. After, nearly having a one-sided punch out. Seems that she caught the glimmer of suspicion in my eyes. Without waiting for my answer, Shion began walking. So we're just having a fun restaurant time.